pretty ass nigga, you know, handsome ass nigga, pretty nigga.
Alright, so for today we are no longer Wallow's music review, but instead Wallow's TV show review. Or to be more blunt, Wallow's mini-series that was adapted from an online game that no one who watched the show knows how to play review. And if you haven't figured it out by just reading the title by now, today we're going to be taking a look at the first episode of the League of Legends animated show, Arcane.
Wow.
Basically, it's an origin story on two popular League of Legends characters, Jinx and V, and the struggles and trials that they face within the world, with them living in poverty and finding ways in and out of trouble with their two other friends, Milo and Clagger. But when watching the show and making my analysis of it all, I can say that this show is definitely a work of art, and one of my favorite game-to-show adaptations I've seen in a long time. So before I get into anything else, I want to make a disclaimer. I have never played League of Legends, mainly because it seems like there's too much going on and I'm too busy getting my ass kicked in Dota right now.
23 Savage is getting choked down moon.
What the hell is even that?
But what I can't take after watching the show is that there's a lot of lore to explore. Even in just the first episode, we see the divide of classes with the nicer, sunnier, and more calm life above ground, while the impoverished, struggling, and somewhat sketchy people stay underground, with our main protagonist being mixed with the bunch. Where even disrespectful characters would help with proper world building, such as Vander, who places strong parental guidance, or the two dealers at the tavern who help represent the kind of people you're bound to meet when going into this city. Regardless of if they're big or small, in a way they all keep you entertained, sometimes making you wonder what's their purpose and if you'll ever see them again. But when looking at our own protagonists, we're kind of shown the people that you know in the game, mainly just V being the one that definitely represents the more hot-headed and impulsive one, while Jinx is shown more as the timid and little sister figure throughout the show that makes you wonder how she even became the explosion freak that she is in the game. But I suppose these two character types perfectly balance each other out by being the yin to each other's yang, with V being the guiding figure towards Jinx's life. But when looking at the plot from the first episode initially, it would seem like your standard edgy teen does whatever they feel with no thought while the sibling just follows, kind of plot that you'd see in other shows and movies. But at the same time, I can still appreciate it because at least it helps give that stepping stone towards the character's development, even if it isn't as original as one would try to see it. The animation I would say is pretty top tier as well, with them using both 2D and 3D animation to help with the flow of each frame, and with the attention to details, such as with the fight between our protags and the boys down the alleyway. I mean, just look at the differences between the upper and the underground cities. Everything seems so pleasant and collected when going above and seeing this bright blue sky and what seems like this calm vibe I'm getting. That until shit exploded. But then going down below and seeing this dark and hazy city that makes sure to give you that uneasy feeling. But as for the soundtrack, well, it's okay. I mean, I've stopped being a fan of Imagine Dragons since hearing them on college football for the past decade, but at least it wasn't the usual boom clap style that we're used to hearing, alongside a nice JIT feature that makes for a pretty decent theme song. Overall, this first episode was pretty good. It was consistent, had great voice acting, and the animation was top tier. And while the character archetypes that were shown in the beginning weren't too different from what I've seen before, I can say that they will definitely become more interesting as the show progresses, just to help explain how they became the people that they are in the game. So to put this on the scale, because why not, I'm giving this first episode a 9 out of 10, with this being a nice start to one of my favorite game to show adaptations I've seen in a long while. But how do you guys feel about Arcane? Do you think that season 2 will hold up? Have you ever played League of Legends before?
No.
Let me know down in the comments while liking and subscribing. Make sure to follow my IG and Twitter. And if you like the illustrations used in this video, make sure to follow the artist as well because she's dope. No, yeah, follow my second channel, Wallow's Gaming, for me outside of the music review stuff. And on that note, I'll see you on Friday for another album review. Peace.
Four big guys, and they bust on my eyes. They eat my ass just like apple pie.